of that mastery, B for belongingness, and A for autonomy. And when we talk about B, we had got two aspects. One, we talked about the relationship with others and relationship with ourselves, self-acceptance. So we have been doing a lot of things about self-acceptance. And the essential thing that we were doing is mindfulness, when we dive deep into ourselves, finding what you are, and then accepting so many things. Self-compassion, as I was mentioning in the morning, how we accept things. We know that there are so many things that do happen are beyond our control, and at times we instantaneously we feel that it's bad. The injection, if you recall, the injection seemed so painful at that point in time, but as we see from hindsight, we find that actually it was so important at that point in time. And if you recall Nick Vujicic, which says, many of the things in life, they seem to be overwhelming. They as if they're running us over. But actually probably they are there to make us better. So how we see, how we take things when they are not great, or they are great. So when things go great, we say we are grateful for that. And when things are not that great, we say we accept it. Now B part, the other part of B is when we build a relationship. It's very important in our life. In fact, when we see again the human beings, the very existence of human being, the flourishing of this race as it has been happening so fantastic in a fantastic manner, we see that relationship is one aspect which is the essential aspect, essential thing. And if this is nourished, this is flourishing, people are happy. So relationship is important, that we have seen. Trust, as must have been built, trust is so important in life. So if trust is there, we have good relationship, we are happier. Again, if you recall one thing I narrated in the morning, it is scarf. In scarf there was one thing called relationship. If relationship are enriching, then we feel better. In fact, when relationship are enriching, there's something called the oxytocin's flow. Yesterday, Samdu sir, he said oxytocin. Oxytocin is a bonding chemical. In the dose it was O. Bonding chemical, typically we find oxytocin when mothers are likely to give birth to child, or they have given birth to child. The bonding is phenomenal. The connect is absolutely at a very different level. So when oxytocin levels are high, our connect is tremendous. And we also have seen when people are attentive to others, also oxytocin levels go up. When we hug each other, oxytocin comes. So how to create that oxytocin is important. I am again coming back to techniques. I will give you some 4 or 5 very specific activities through which we can enrich our bonding, through which we can create oxytocin flow. One more thing that Nitesh in the morning described is about mirror neuron. Mirror neuron is something profound, something unique, not to human beings. Mirror neurons, as he was mentioning about monkeys having mirror neurons, it's not unique to human beings, but what is unique in human system is the sophistication of the mirror neuron system. The sophistication of mirror neuron system means whenever we start one activity, our mind create a presumed body posture. Like if I see something, somebody is doing something, my mind can create that picture in my brain. For example, if I want to, let's say, drive a car, instantaneously, first a very rough picture of how driving a car should be is created, and mirror neuron system is responsible for this. All technological advancements probably happened because of this. When we saw a horse going, we created movement in the mind, and we also tweaked it with wheel or rolling of a stone, matching it with a horse running, matching it with something else. We could connect all three and make a car, think of a car. So this connection, this whole stuff could happen through the mirror neuron, sophistication of the mirror neuron system. Now, in relationship, it is also very, very important. In relationship, it is very important because it is something like telepathy, something like connecting, syncing with others. For example, at this point in time, I am speaking to you. So if you take a brain scan of mine, typical part of the brain, or speaking and making a presentation, thinking something, speaking, coming with languages. So if you take a brain scan of mine, you will find part of the brain which are responsible for creating a speech and delivering a speech would be very active. Typically places called the angular gyrus, the Wernicke's area, the Broca's area would be very active. If you take a brain scan of yours, we'll see the temporal lobe, typically this part of the temporal lobe would be very active. Because you are listening, perceiving and understanding. So those parts will be active. But astonishingly what you will find, in your brain, you would be also speaking as if I am in sync with you. It's almost like not just random sync, almost like as my brain is vibrating in exactly the same places, your brain also would be mimicking my brain. That's why they call it the mirror neuron system. So we are in a sync. Unknowingly in the subconscious state, we are in sync. Similarly, if you take a brain scan of mine, my listening part would be in sync. So people who have got stronger mirror neuron system would be connecting with others better. Because we understand the perspective instantaneously, subconsciously. If I look at him, if I speak to him, getting some cues, the mirror neuron system gets strengthened. So one of the way through which you can strengthen relationship is to activate, practice, maybe rejuvenate, revitalize the mirror neuron system. So 4 steps that would, or rather 4 things that I would share with you, lead to building a strong rapport with others. And this needs practice, a very systematic practice. If I'm not great at understanding others, not good at understanding others' perspective, I can practice it. The best part of the relationship building is, it is a learnable skill. We can learn how to create and strengthen relationship, how to understand others' perspective. Typically, it's also known as empathy. How I understand others' perspective, we have a natural quality, but unless otherwise we try to use those qualities, they will be subdued. They will never flourish. So, like as they say, walking is a very natural quality, but one has to walk to be walking. There are instances where people were lost in the jungle. After some time, they found they're not walking, they're walking, crawling. Because they have not seen somebody walking, so that mirror neuron system, it got pruned. Many of the neural pathways got pruned. They were not activated. Similarly, if you do not use effectively the relationship building networks, they will get pruned. So in order to strengthen them, we need to practice. So a few systematic practices which are very effective is to create a slot for how to create better relationships. And typically you can keep daily, weekly or twice a week. 15 to 20 minutes devoted, that this 15-20 minutes or half an hour I will completely give to create stronger relationship, to learn the skill. So this is what is required, but this needs few steps. The first step is called priming with positivity. The priming with positivity means, when I plan that, say Monday 10:30 to 11, with one person I interact in the office, to create a very strong understanding, bonding relationship with that person. It will change every week. So every Monday at 10:30 to 11, I will talk to my subordinate, I will talk to the union representative, I will talk to the boss. So I'll keep changing, learning the skill of deepening the relationship. So first thing is, before 10:30, 5 minutes, priming myself with positivity. When I say priming myself with positivity, I will just take you back to the gorilla event. When I primed you with white and the ball. So priming yourself with positivity would mean that for 5 minutes you would absolutely say, a wonderful thing is going to happen with me because I am going to connect with another human being just to understand his perspective or her perspective. And deepen my relationship with him or her. It may become aggressive, but still it will be learning. I will be at peace. I will learn a lot of things during that interaction. So that's the priming, which lot of positive things. Wow, what's great thing going to happen with me? I will be connecting, deepening my relationship with somebody very soon. So that 5 minutes would be the priming time. After that 5 minutes, that's the priming. The second step is complete and full, before complete and full attention. Creating a very secured place. That means normally human beings are a bit skeptic about the event that is coming up. If somebody is coming, he may be having something that कुछ तो बॉस गड़बड़ के लिए मुझे बुलाया है, या यूनियन वाला आएगा, ये तो कुछ चक्कर होगा, मुझसे कुछ लिखवाएगा, मुझसे कुछ करवाएगा. So there will be lot of things, lot of apprehension in the people who would be coming. अगर बेटे के साथ आ रहे हैं, we can have same thing for the kids, for wives, for husbands, for others, to have that dedicated time with a friend. So सबके पास पापा आज तक नहीं बोल रहे, आज क्या हो गया, शाम को बोलने के आधा घंटा तेरे से बात करूँगा. So lot of that apprehension would be there. So how to first relax it? When he or she comes, how we make that environment so interesting, so cozy, so familiar, so secured that he would open up. So security, so make it very simple, no gadget, nothing which will distract. Then once he or she comes, next step is complete and full attention. Complete and full attention, which is a precondition for mirror neuron activation. When we pay, as Nidesh was mentioning, when we pay attention to somebody or something happening, naturally the mirror neuron system acts. We see somebody walking, we also walk. We see somebody smiling, we also smile unknowingly with them. We see somebody sitting quiet, the quietness also comes in. So attention is very important. The first step is attention, complete, full attention. The next thing we call is pacing. This needs a little practice. Pacing is how to be like who is in front, not exactly mimicking. It's not mimicking. It's like if he's nodding, you start nodding. You start pacing. Yesterday, Samdu sir was saying, when you are hugging somebody, rhythm your breathing along with him. So can we rhythm your breathing along with him? Can you rhythm your blinking along with him or not? So that rhythm, there is something called the oscillation system in the brain. Oscillation system is, human brain when oscillates simultaneously, the same physical actions and activities, the sense of security enhances. So when somebody nods, we start nodding. When somebody smiles, we start smiling. When somebody blinks, we start blinking. And that after some time it becomes practice. The connect enhances. In fact, before the US election, there was many polls which said that Clinton is going to win. Mrs. Clinton is going to win. And few of them said, in fact, some of the psychologists were very astonished with this outcome. They said, how is it possible? Because the oscillation that we see with Trump is very different. Or the kind of things, vibration they see. When Trump would nod, more of the viewers' audience would nod. When Trump would smile, they would smile. That was not the case when Clinton was doing. Although on the something they would rate that we'll give this vote to her, but actually subconscious would propel them to do something which they do not or want to do. Subconscious propels us to eat sweets, but ultimately the sweet, not to eat sweets, but the sweets sometimes decides whether we should eat or not. So that rapport, or when we oscillate, that means we are creating a stronger bond. That rapport gets further strengthened. So after all this, full and complete listening. More listening and less of speaking. And of course, listening. When we listen and we give a pause and the person wants to respond, we respond with a lot of compassion, a lot of presence. Presence means I am there for you only. So many a times it may not happen so. The union representative would be aggressive. The boss would be angry. Or the subordinate doesn't do the things that you would like him to do. So agitation comes in. Be prepared for it. Have a mental preparedness. These things, when they occur, I will be calm, composed, and try to be silent, not react. Because reaction would lead to further thing. So in that 30 minutes that we are learning to create stronger bonding and relationship, try to be silent, maybe find out a way how to smoothen this whole process. So keeping that thing in your awareness that things may go wrong, but I will, when things go wrong, I will take rescue of those things. How to come out of it. 30 minutes, I will be completely at my control. It's a prepared learning phase. Keep reminding, I'm just learning. Things would go wrong. That wrong thing that is going is for my learning. So keeping this at your awareness would help learn. And when it closes, when it comes to the end, then thank each other, and internally you just say, wow, whatever happened was a wonderful, wonderful thing. I learned a lot, and reflect on that. What you learned, what didn't happen, what did go well, what you understood about the individual, what he might be thinking, how was his point of view. Because point of view, the whole thing the world is suffering from is different points of views. We saw left and right yesterday. In one of my workshops in MTI, there were two general managers. It was an advanced management program. One was an IITian and one was a doctor. He was a medical MBBS doctor. And suddenly they said, they started fighting, नहीं ये clockwise है, ये anti-clockwise है. थोड़ा सा मैं देखा कि बढ़ता जा रहा है, पारा बढ़ता जा रहा है. IIT वाले खड़े हो गए, इंजीनियरिंग पढ़े हो, जानते हो clockwise anti-clockwise क्या होता है. So people can go to ridiculous extent just for the sake of what they feel is right. Because if you remember this scar, because that connects to their status. That becomes their status. If I am wrong, my status is gone. In fact, when we see the neuroscientific activities, when the status is affected, it's as the same activity happens when somebody is dying, somebody is committing suicide. The whole thing, the pathetic thing that is happening with kids who commit suicide is because the status, they go from here, from a school where they're recognized, they are at high position, best of students, suddenly land up in IIT and they are again in a mass. Everybody is good. Everybody is better than them. So the status is so affected, it's as if they're dying. So the identity is actually devalued, which leads to serious things. So when we see the brain scan, it's as if it's imminent suicide. So the status, we have to understand, whenever I'm interacting with anybody, bring back scars to you. Because negative emotion comes in when I'm affecting somebody's status. When I'm creating uncertainty for him. When I am constraining the autonomy out of him, or taking the autonomy out of him or her. Or when I am asking him to do something through which his relationships are likely to be affected. Or he or she may be feeling unfair that I'm going to conduct, asking him to do or I'm doing with him. So this, we also would see that how the emotions can become negative. The moment we are doing positive things for them through SCAR, they would be more with us. So the 5 steps, what we said, we start with priming ourselves. 2, we have to make the environment secure. 3, paying attention. 4, you can say pacing or oscillating. It's more like physically, even sitting. When I'm sitting and the other person has folded his legs, if you also fold his leg, unconsciously you create a bond. If somebody nods and you start nodding, unconsciously the bond is created. So in that 30 minutes, if you practice for a few days, you would find then it will be natural. You would follow the others naturally, and not just that, slowly as you pace with him or her, then you change your posture, you'll find the other person would also change posture. This happens. Because you can then pace with somebody you found and you came in with a very high rate of breathing, you also start breathing a little faster. Slowly you come down, you will find the other person will come down. This happens unknowingly, unconsciously at a subconscious level. We don't understand that, but it happens both scientifically and otherwise. We can experiment with this, and it has been established. So this is how we can practice creating deeper relationship. The husbands and wives who are here, they can practice it, finding a time for it. It's absolutely amazing the way things can change. Along with what yesterday we discussed about the hugging meditation, that also is more of farther deeper things you can do. So this is it's आज एक point आ रहा था सर का, but that was higher level because she was understanding कि मुझे बोलना है, उनको करना है और मैं करूँगा वही करूँगी जो उनको चाहिए. But the whole thing is, husband जो सुनता है, including myself, my wife is not there, I'm saying that way. जब सुनता है, उसको 2 मिनट बाद पूछे क्या बोलना था? As if he has come out of a dream.
बिल्कुल सही.
So are we attentive? और एक मैं यहाँ पे आपको बताता हूँ, there is a book called The Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, where it is said that शाम को आए घर से और वाइफ ये मालूम है आज मेड नहीं आई, ये नहीं हुआ, वो नहीं हुआ, ऐसा हुआ, वैसा हुआ, and we have solution for everything. अरे मेड नहीं आई, you should have asked for that. उसके बगल वाले मेड को बुलाना चाहिए था, कल उसके साथ उसको बोलो कि कैसे नहीं आ गया, उसका तनख्वाह काटो. So you give many solutions. But unfortunately, the female brain doesn't want a solution. They want an empathetic listening. The moment you start giving solutions, the brain starts creating क्या हो रहा है? मैं I have already gone through pain. I want him to just appreciate the pain. I don't know. I'm probably overreaching my limit to express the generic female view, but that's what generally women, rather female, would want you to be more empathetic to the condition that they have gone through.
Say it loudly.
Say it loudly.
So validation हो गया research.
I believe it is validated, but that's true. Please, as he said, very pertinent question. हम तो वही करते हैं, वैसा मत करिए. Please be completely empathetic. Be present for that thing and feel what is going on.
Are we not empathetic with you people?
Yeah.
Are we not empathetic with you people when you come down, when you express?
I'm coming to that. In fact, it had.
You spend all the time sitting and listening to all your problems and all.
मैं आ रहा हूँ. In fact, the other side is the same problem. Empathy is
the
there.
right word.
Absolutely.
And feel.
Yeah. The empathy. So the female, they look forward to that empathy. You should appreciate the pain that they have gone through, the difficulty that they have gone through. So, not giving solution. Solution is not what they require. But the other side is, men are more solution oriented. So, अच्छा तुम इतना कहानी जो सुना रहे हो उसका सारांश क्या है? किस लिए? What is the objective? Yes, क्या ये इतना क्यों बोल रही हो? Why not you are telling? Come to the point.
Actually, there is a book on that. Men are from
Yeah,
Mars
just
and
man.
women
बाहर
are
से
from
आ रही हो,
Venus.
रिलैक्स करो, सब कुछ हो गया.
देखो यही शुरू हो गया.
You're taking risk.
Don't take risk.
आज तो हो गया. गेम से देख रहा हूँ. आज तो हो गया.
So,
होगा भी कि आपके पास एक्स्ट्रा टेंट थोड़ी है.
on payment they are available. So great. These are also part of life. We should enjoy these little conflicts. We'll cherish them at a later part of our life. Like injections, they may pain little, but we would miss them after some time. Oh, itna energy bhi nahi rahega na jhagadne ke liye. So why not say that yes, this is also wow.
But we should give the solution for that also, no? If we have got empathy for the wives, है ना? I am nodding, okay, अच्छा बहुत बुरा हुआ.
See, until
तो
unless
वो भी
you-
उसका अच्छा तुमको बुरा लगा तो कुछ किया क्यों नहीं? क्या करना है? तो give a solution for that.
In fact, so far, whatever I am doing, I am not giving any solution. But I cannot trade into that risk. The whole thing I am doing is, I am saying, let us be aware of this. The awareness itself is a huge solution, a wonderful solution. The moment we are aware, the solution comes. So becoming aware of things, becoming aware of these probably help that we know that she doesn't like this. Or probably I would be more empathetic, then it will be, the bonding will be better. Maybe female would appreciate that he needs a solution. Maybe I would be become objective at times. So when we know each other, be aware of each other's problems. What I said is very generic. Please don't take it up front, because human beings are so complex. Making them generic itself is probably crime. We cannot make people bracket them. Even when I was going through the questionnaire, bracketing I personally don't like. Every individual is very unique. So let us respect that individual within us. Respect, try to understand others, try to make ourselves understood by others. That helps bringing happiness about. So that way we can enrich our relationship, maybe become a better, happy human being. So this is what we thought relationship is all about. Yes?
One thing I just want to ask you, see, all these management theories and all those things ultimately leads to some kind of controlled behavior or conditioning of a situation. But in a normal life, when we are impacted by so many different types of stimuli, really are we able to condition our behavior as per the particular situation? It should happen, it should be done like this, and we really do it? Or it has to be naturally cultivated in a...
Wonderful question. कि अभी इतना जो हम बात कर रहे हैं, is it practical? That's what is a simple thing. In practical life, in an environment which is the real place, we can have it within the. But the whole thing is practical. It can only be when we practice it. Practical means it can be practiced, and fortunately, practice can lead to that. We cannot do, like if you ask me to lift, say, 100 kg of weight, I start lifting 100 kg of weight, I'll be a failure, I'll be hurting myself. But I start from, say, 30 kg, 35 kg next day. So what we say is, don't try to immediately, instantaneously change yourself. That's not worth it. Neither it is desirable. What we say, let's say, ma'am was asking for the Rasgulla part. If you have an urge for Rasgulla, how do you avoid it? Now let me, for this week, I take only one assignment point for myself for self-growth. If you recall, the two aspects of M was mastery inside, mastery outside, and mastery inside was actually the self-growth. So control is one self-growth. If I want to avoid Rasgulla, yesterday I said creative envisioning I did for getting up early in the morning and to avoid sweets. So let me take you through the getting up. Did I say that what I did to get up early in the morning? No. Narration?
No.
So,
Keep bringing cold.
yeah. That's what it is. So create a story. Like Rasgulla, let me come to the Rasgulla story. Let's say I have an urge for sweets. Now, when sweets come, you cannot help it. The reason is, you'll be overwhelmed because of the very fast system 1 he was narrating. System 1 is the amygdala related system, which is quickly make your entire self prepared for having the sweets. Now if you do that time, it will not happen. But what we can do, say step back, like if I am going to go to a marriage or wedding ceremony, just I think for 5 minutes, what is going to happen? The thing that is going to happen is, I am going to go there, there will be wonderful sweets on this serve. What I am going to do, I will, now I'm not there, I'm practicing myself. I would say I'm there. I'm in that hall, wonderful hall. Beautiful people are there interacting. Lovely food there on the serve. Rasgulla, gulab jamun, barfi, ice cream, all those stuffs are there. And I'm going there. I'm reaching that place and saying with a peaceful mind, with all wonders and enjoying, I'm saying, I'm not going to have you because I am in complete command of myself. I'm not going to control by you. I am the self who is going to control you. I'm not going to have you. And the salad which is here is much more tasty, and that gives me a fascinating feeling when I put the cucumber here and say, wow, I have a victory point. You practice this, go there, And there already your brain is trying to play with you, but you are saying, no, I do the same thing. I'll go there, come back, have the cucumber, saying cucumber is much more better than the other one. And not just that, it has given me a sense of victory. Here, the dopamine secretion is happening. There is a sense of achievement. I have a victory over controlling my urge to have sweets. So the dopamine has been activated right from the time when we started from home. Practicing all through, I will reach there. It will be great fun when I'll not have sweets and ice cream, I'll have this. So this needs practice. You do it 21 times. 22nd day when you'll go, naturally you don't need to practice it hard, as you said. It is impractical so long as you do not
sidewise,
practice.
suppose your friend is there, he is influencing you, are एक दो डबला लो ना भाई.
Yeah. So, usko
he
bhi,
gets influenced.
so bring that also into your envisioning. When you have that tendency, my friend is saying, अरे दो ले लो ना. तो उस समय आप envisioning में उसको रखिएगा. Friend बोल रहा है, दो ले लो ना. आप उसको बोल रहे हैं, तुम मेरे लिए दो ले लो, मैं देखो तुम्हारे सामने दो सलाद देता हूँ. कैसे मजा आता है. So you have practice. You find out that envisioning, create. That's why it's called creative envisioning. You are very creative while doing this whole narration. Nitesh is not there. He will be good at it because this is a script that you need to make in order to run through that vision, run through that envisioning. So when we're creating that script, running through that script 10 times, we are already in a mode of metacognition. I, who I don't know, but that I is in command. The sweet is not going to decide my decision of having that. I am taking a call whether I should have sweets or not have sweets. So that control is actually, in neuroscience, there is a shift of control happening from the mid-brain region to the top brain, the cortical region. The shift is happening because the cortical region, which is higher, the evolved brain, is now taking control. When it takes, the dopamine is taking that. The dopamine I'll get not from the sweet, the pleasure of the sweet, I'm getting from the victory of avoiding sweet and having the salad. So impracticality would be there for the first 21 days. If you are into the practice, you would find after a few days, this would become so natural that you feel, oh, it's so easy. So this, every aspect of it, as we said, we for 50 odd years we have hardened our pathways. Breaking those are not easy, definitely not easy. But if we have a will, if we have that metacognitive ability of awareness of what I am doing, becoming mindful of what I am doing. If you recall, when we learn the car, it is conscious experience. So when we are in a conscious experience mode, we are in a state of metacognition. I am the one who is taking decision of doing this or not doing this. Sounds sometimes easy, sometimes impractical, neither of these two. It's not easy, neither impractical. It needs a lot of practice. And the journey, this statement I think you are aware of, journey is my reward. This was by Steve Jobs. He said, it was not the iPhone that gave me the maximum happiness. The most happiness I got when I was in the process of creating iPhone. So when in fact we are all work in progress. So as we proceed in that lifelong journey, that work in progress, if it is creative, if I am growing, the sense of happiness comes in spite of challenges. There are so many mothers here. Giving birth to a child is one of the most painful, the labor pain is considered to be one of the most painful things that is experienced by humanity. But you ask a mother when the delivery is happening, she is happy. So it's not the pain, it's the perspective of that pain which makes us happy and happy. So the pain can be there, but suffering would not be there. So pain would be there as a sensation, but we can reduce, recede that suffering by changing the way we are experiencing it, changing the way we are looking at it, seeing it. That's why in our Upanishad it's called darshan, how we see. The way we see it, the way we accept it, process it, experience it. So acceptance, processing and experiencing it can change hugely. I would not have time to show you. Pain is completely, now there is a whole theory about pain. pain can be completely eliminated through certain practices. There is a movie, I don't know, so it takes some time, 2-3, not a movie, 2-3 minutes clip, maybe I'll show. A person completely burning. Thich Quang Duc, I think he's a person from Vietnam. During the atrocities that time in Vietnam, he chose to self-immolate. And in 1963, November 1st, he said, this is not a suicide. I am just, with all my compassion for my fellow Buddhist in Vietnam, I am just choosing to leave my body. And he sits down in a lotus posture, heated by kerosene koi dalta hai usko, aag laga rehte hain, and he burns completely, doesn't even moving a single muscle, no frown, nothing. If you would like, I'll show you sometime. No frown, he is sitting like this and falling down. Then complete burn is happening. His heart, as it is said, is still preserved. That didn't burn. The heart is still there in Vietnam, in some of the tank, they have put it as a thing. It didn't burn. So they say that the thing what he did is completely dissociating from the pain. The pain was there probably, but suffering was not there. So it's where we understand at that level. We are not going to go there, but at least the journey when we dissociate ourselves from suffering. Yeah, without pain. So that comes from gratitude, compassion for others. So it's a lot of